I think I was 15 and I was sitting in my classroom on the computer. It was one of the first laptops that I ever saw. Well, I came by an online video. It was a dude ripping up a mountain in Japan in a Toyota Corolla A86. His name was Katsuhiro Ueo. I was hooked on drifting right there and then. And 10 years later, I was battling that guy in Long Beach in California. My name's Fredric Aasbo and I drift. Drifting is all about control. It's controlling a car that's essentially out of control. You want to pour into it as much angle as possible. You want to go as quick as possible, as much smoke as possible, and it's a show. So a lot of people say that there's a lot of egos in racing, and I guess that's true, because in order to compete and in order to win, you have to have a very strong drive. But I think drifting has a little bit more of a friendly vibe going on, because it's a judged sport. It's kind of the action sport of racing, because people express themselves through their competition cars and through their drifting. And I think it's basically a huge family, and I guess it's in the name. We just drift around and people just accommodate us, and we would accommodate any drifter that comes here too. I'm from Ski, Norway, a small town 20 minutes outside of Oslo. So we get a lot of snow here. We have some mountain passes, some frozen lakes, and you know, it's cold, it's dark, and not really a whole lot of things to do aside of driving cars. And that's what we do. You know, we wrench on the cars, we take them out, we go to frozen lakes, we meet up, we cruise. You know, whenever people get to spend some quality time together, they kind of forget about the harsh winters out here. On ice, your car is pretty loose around the center, but the more G's you pull and the wider you go, the more bite you get. So it's an amazing feeling of never going wrong. You can flick it in as hard as you want, and most of the time you can pull out of it. Any rear-wheel drive, basic car can be a good drift car. So the first thing you want to accommodate is the steering angle. So you need to build much more steering angle than what's stock. That's the first. You also need a limited slip differential and some proper footwork, some proper suspension, and that's really it for a basic drift car.
Right now I drive a 1977 Toyota Cressida, the MX-32 chassis. I saw the ad for the Cressida, which had one previous owner, a 91-year-old lady. And I figured, well, I just have to have this car. The body lines are beautiful. It's very easy to modify, but I'm not really a mechanic. I usually break cars and then I get people to help me fix them. Driving on ice and snow compared to especially dry tarmac is really delicate. You have to be very careful. You have to hold back a bit more. You can't be as aggressive. You have to really feel the car and be smooth and be sensitive, I guess, to all the inputs you get from the car and read them really, really quickly. I love drifting because it allows me to really take control of the car, push the limits, and even go beyond the limits of what should be physically possible to do with the car.
There's something about cars. It's an expression of yourself. I mean, a guy like me, I would drive a Toyota GT86 because that's me. It's a lightweight sports car that's nimble, but it's still slow, you know? So it's nothing extreme, I guess, like me. Whereas a different guy would drive something that suits him better, you know? A lot of my buddies drive, you know, different Nissans. There's a lot of BMW guys, and they're kind of more posh. There's something about cars. They're such a big part of our lives that they automatically become our clothes, really. The life I live today, and getting to race and drive at tracks that I only dreamt of before, just proves that I'm a product of my friends and family back here. I grew up driving on these roads, winter, summer, and to this day you see some of the curbs and along the roads here are still painted red and white, which we did when, you know, my buddies and I when we were kids. It's just amazing to get back out on home turf with my buddies and spend some quality time.